side of John J. Williams Highway, which is Rep 24, approximately 0.25 miles southwest of Mulberry Knoll Road. The 911 address is not available, and it's Sussex County Route 284. County Council may remember this from the public hearing held on July 26th of last year, and then at the meeting of August 30th of last year, Council deferred for further consideration.
Any questions of the Council? Any questions of Council? Mr. Rieley.
Question.
Mr.
So,
Rieley.
on the ordinance to amend the future land use map, are we increasing the density on this particular? That's a request that they have.
So the ordinance itself is to amend the future land use map element, which wouldn't by itself increase the density.
Would by itself.
Correct.
So the net effect is increased density.
Correct, but the corresponding change of zone application, which is the other item, would allow a higher density.
Yeah. And they want to go from 2 to 4
Correct.
units to the acre.
But this by itself does not do that.
The
Changing the map.
Correct, it's just to change the map.
Yeah, does not do
But
that.
you have to change the map in order to.
Correct.
So
Correct.
start at the beginning again.
So the first item is to amend the future land use map element to
Right.
change the designation of the area. The second element is to change the zoning, and then the third element is to grant a conditional use in that changed zoning district.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm clear on it.
Good? Any more questions? Mr. Moore, I guess you'd read a short title for us.
Thank you, Mr. President. An ordinance to amend the future land use map element of the comprehensive plan in relation to tax parcel number 334-12.00-16.04 for the reasons given by planning and zoning numbered 1 through 4.
Pleasure, Council. Motion, Mr. Schaeffer. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Yep. Second, Mrs. Green. Questions on the motion? We will take the vote. Mr. Schaeffer.
Yes.
Mrs. Green.
Did you just need yes or no?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, for the reasons
for the
given by
reason,
planning
I
and
guess by
zoning.
planning and zoning, yeah. Now down to you. His reason, because of planning and zoning, reason he's voting yes.
Okay. So this is just on number 1.
Is that correct?
Based on reasons by planning and zoning, I'll vote yes.
Mr. Hudson.
I'll vote yes based on the reasons given by planning and zoning.
Mr. Rieley.
I'm going to vote no. I'm going to vote no on this because I am very concerned about the density, and there's a tremendous amount of open space down there at this point. And if this will be used for justification for increasing density in those other parcels in the future, I'm all for people being able to take advantage of their property rights and build according to the zoning that they currently have. But I could envision just jamming 2 or 3 times more units down there than what we have currently. And I don't think that's wise long term. So I vote no.
Please refrain from that. Based on the reasons of planning and zoning, I'll vote yes on that. Motion carried. Next.
Thank you. Our next item is change of zone number 1949, filed on behalf of J. Gene Townsend Jr. and Company. This is an ordinance to amend the comprehensive zoning map of Sussex County from an AR1 agricultural residential district to an MR medium density residential district for the same parcel of land containing 21.62 acres more or less.
Any questions of council? Questions of council? Mr. Moore, read short title, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. An ordinance to amend comprehensive zoning map of Sussex County from an AR1 agricultural residential district to an MR medium density residential district for a certain parcel of land lying and being in Lewis and Rehoboth Hundred, Sussex County, containing 21.62 acres more or less for the reasons given by planning and zoning numbered 1 through 7.
Pleasure of council.
I'll move for adoption.
Motion, Mr. Schaeffer. Second. Second, Mrs. Green. Questions on the motion? We'll take the vote. Mr. Schaeffer.
I vote no. I do not believe that density is appropriate for this area.
Mrs. Green.
Based on the recommendation of planning and zoning with conditions, I'll vote yes.
Mr. Hudson.
I will vote no on this density increase.
Mr. Rieley.
I also vote no for the same reasons I gave earlier as far as increasing density.
Based on reasons of planning and zoning, I will vote yes. Motion defeated. Next, sir.
Our next item is a conditional use number 2304, filed on behalf of J.G. Townsend Jr. and Company. This is an ordinance to grant a conditional use of land in an MR medium-density residential district for multifamily, 84 units, to be located on a certain parcel of land lying and being in Lewis and Roberts 100, containing 21.62 acres, more or less. So this is the same parcel, the previous change of zone, but the ordinance was drafted on the basis of a conditional use in an MR district.
That is correct.
Mr. President, can I ask a question?
Certainly you
Is it
can.
appropriate to move forward with this application after the second one failed?
Well, I think, well,
Yeah, we would need to
vote
go
on it.
through and vote on it, but as Mr. White
no,
has
they
just
can't-
indicating, it was predicated upon the change of zone.
so we were going to vote no again, but it needs to be dealt with because on the agenda. Anything else, sir?
That's it, thank you.
Any questions of council? Any questions of council? Mr. Moore, read short title, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. An ordinance to grant a conditional use of land in an MR medium-density residential district for multifamily, 84 units, to be located on a certain parcel of land lying and being in Lewis, Rehoboth 100, Sussex County, containing 21.62 acres, more or less, for the reasons 1 through 10 given by planning, zoning, and conditions 11A through P.
Pleasure of council. Pleasure of council. Am I going to make?
Yes.
We would need to make a motion in the affirmative, and then
Yes.
if you want to vote no, you vote no.
Correct.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Okay. Motion, Mr. Schaeffer, second.
Second.
Mrs. Green, questions on the motion? We'll take the vote. Mr. Schaeffer.
Mr. President, I had a number of amendments to add. Is there a need for that?
There is no need in this case to make the amendments since this motion with the conditional use was predicated upon the change of zone.
Correct.
I will vote no. I do not believe the density in this area is appropriate.
Thank you. Mrs. Green.
My vote will be no, based on it failed, the motion I had failed, and so my vote will be no.
Mr. Hudson.
I'll vote no,
Based on
based on the and the first,
the previous motion.
the previous motion, I'm sorry.
Mr. Rieley.
I also vote no based on the previous motion.
I also vote no based on previous motion. Motion defeated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grant